Thank you, Carlos. Good morning, everyone. It's so great to see you here on this beautiful morning in paradise. Welcome to All Faiths Unitarian Congregation. Here you will find a diverse and inclusive spiritual community where we welcome people with many different beliefs. You can bring your whole self, your full identity, your questioning mind, and your expansive heart. At All Faiths, we have more than one way of experiencing the world and understanding the sacred. No matter who you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and whomever you love, you are truly welcome here. Is anyone visiting for the first or second time? If so, please raise your hand. Anyone? Oh, welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're with us. And if you'd like to know more about All Faiths, you can see Fran Way and our visitors corner near the folding doors at the end of service. And those who are online, you can visit allfaithsuu.org. I have a few announcements to make. One thing is this month we're collecting for Operation Joy. And as you know, each month we have a particular group that we make extra donations for. And I'm sorry to say that Operation Joy is going to be a little sad this month. If you haven't yet made a contribution and you don't want this lady giving you unwelcome grief, please write out your check and write Op Joy on the lower left corner. Please join us for our monthly potluck dinner on Thursday, March 28th at 5 p.m. You can sign up on the bulletin board, indicate what you bring. These potlucks are wonderful. You get such a terrific opportunity to get all these wonderful recipes that people bring, the very best. And it's a good time to get to know each other better and share some food together. So please sign up.
We're playing team trivia.
Okay, trivia. On Saturday, March 30th at 2 p.m., we will hold a memorial service for Bob Way. Bob Way was a founding member of All Faiths and one of our most beloved singers who treated us as wonderful songs all through the years. So please plan on coming on Saturday to join with Fran Way and their family in celebrating his life. On Wednesday, April 3rd at 2 p.m., we'll hold a memorial service for Dick Noje. Some of you are newer and don't know, but Dick and his wife Florence were very active members of All Faiths before they moved away a few years ago. They were very active with the Immokalee farm workers, and I think Dick wrote a book, Don't Retire, Get Inspired. Wonderful people, and even though they've been gone for many years, they feel such a strong connection to All Faiths that they wanted to have a memorial service here for him and have a bricklaying in the garden, so please join us. Other upcoming events are listed on page 2 of your order of service. And Carlos, you have a message to share with us.
Hello, greetings. I'm Carlos Garcia, your music minister. When using the teal hymnals as you have, please refer to the back of the hymnals for numbers 361 and hymn number 123 that are in your order of service. But I now invite you to please rise in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all faiths. Today, our chalice lighter will be our Children and Youth Program Director, Sharon Heinrich, and I believe some little ones will be joining her. Here they come. Come on down. Oh, they got up. The older ones got shy. The little ones, they don't know about that yet. Not as much. So the words are in your program. And so you're going to take this little one here. You're going to light this and put it there. Okay, so no, that's to put it out later. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. We gathered this morning as one community, a community united by common ideals: love, justice, diversity, freedom, mutual care, equity. Yet look around. Look at the faces of those around you. Each face represents every one of us with our own story, needs, strengths, and faults. Thank you. We light our chalice today. And the uniqueness that lives within each of us. And now our children will continue off to go to wherever they go when they're not in here with us. So you'll join me in singing, Go Now in Peace. Let's go. Go now in peace.
Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you.
Everywhere, everywhere you may go. Now, we will not interrupt them to have them extinguish the chalice. So a little later, someone else will extinguish the chalice, because I'm sure they'll be very busy and do not want to be interrupted. So now we're going to just switch over to something a little more serious, but also fun. It's time for us to share our joys, our sorrows, and our gratitudes. So, is there joy? Is there sorrow? Is there a gratitude? Thank you, Joyce. Always forget the mic.
I have a joy, and that is an appreciation for the wonderful leadership that we've had here at All Faiths. And some of you were at the annual meeting this morning and had an opportunity to appreciate those who are leaving our board. But Marge DeGalbo, Michelle Gemma, and Linda Runkle, we appreciate the leadership you've provided in the past years, and we are grateful to the new people who were elected this morning to service on the nominating committee and on the board. So let's have a big hand of appreciation for these wonderful people.
Uh-oh. Nothing like changing of the guards. I did notice 5 gentlemen standing up to be joining. I said to myself, uh-oh. Girls, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? The guys are coming. Let's hear it for the boys. Ariel?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to say I have a real joy today. I have my family here from New Jersey.
Yahoo! Come.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's good to have family with you, especially when they come miles and miles and miles and get the warm sun of spring in Florida. Peg.
I am Peg Clayton Fisher, and I have a joy. I want to thank everybody, sorry, for the cards, get well cards, and all that they've done. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's all right.
It's very emotional.
That happens. That happens. Because we love you. You feel the love. And when you feel love, sometimes it overflows just like that in tears and giggles and all kind of ways. I think we hold you in our... Absolutely. Lisa?
I'm Lisa Linhart, a longtime member of this congregation, but in Orlando most of the time right now. But I wanted to say something this morning. I had a thought. When I was putting on my brand new wig that looks very much like the old one, but lighter, a little lighter in color. But about 12 years ago, I stood up in front of you to tell you that I had an autoimmune disease and I was losing all of my hair, which I did, and I have, right now I have some eyebrows growing back. But this is what I wanted to say is this is the kind of group that somebody could stand up and say that to. A lot, and people came out, oh, you were so brave to say that. But because of that, people told me what to do. They reached out, so I want to thank you. And I want to thank Raquel Welch, and rest in peace. But another joy, it's Women History Month, and I'm just going to light one candle, but for my joy of being able to talk to you. And then for Frances Perkins. How many of you know who she was? She was our first cabinet member for a president. She was the longest serving one, 12 years, 1933 to 1945. She helped start Social Security, unemployment, minimum wage, and children's workout, not having children work. So Frances Perkins, amazing woman.
There are many matriarchs, there are many patriarchs, there are many people, particularly women, that we want to honor. And you look marvelous. Hair or no hair, you are marvelous.
I'll say one thing. Of all the hair that you have on your body, the most important, and it did grow back, is your nose hair.
And she was talking about firsts. And Lisa Leonhardt was our first child and youth RE teacher. She joined us on the very first open service, so she wasn't quite a founding member, but she joined us in the first September open service, and she was teaching our children, and she's been a storyteller. She's part of the Tammy and Tale Tellers. She really knows how to tell a story. So we're so grateful Lisa's been with us right from the beginning.
Long time.
Dottie,
Time for one more?
time for one more.
So I drove miles and miles to see my cousins in Central Florida. I share 98% of my DNA with these wonderful chimps and orangutans. Hardly anybody knows about this place because it's really not open to the public except twice a year. It's called the Center for Great Apes. And so I light a candle for these staff people that take care of these wonderful creatures that are like us.
Our distant relatives
And the staff.
and the staff.
Truly work hard. Of course, the chimps are great. Oh, come on.
Perfect. Michael.
Thank you. Yeah, 20 years ago, I had this bright idea that I wanted to sing Were You There for a Unitarian audience. 10 years ago, I ran into Joan Marshall, who was the first person I knew personally who could fit in Anita Carter's shoes.
Oh.
And today we're going to do it. Now, it's kind of short notice, so it's not going to be quite as polished as I would have liked it to have been. On the other hand, I would have rather been doing it at All Souls in New York City. So, but you got to start somewhere. And I'm hopefully now, if I can just get Joan to understand the implications of global warming, I'll have lived a successful life.
We are looking forward to hearing your rendition.
I light this candle to perseverance.
Okay.
Well, I would if I could, anyway. Yeah, who need a candle?
I'll do it for you. We light this candle for all the singers and entertainers who make our lives so much more brighter. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Carlos. Linda.
So many of you probably remember Kendra Maroon and Donna Lieber, and they moved away to Maine, partially to help care for Donna's mother. And I just want to let you know that Donna's mother passed away this past Sunday. So I think they would appreciate your thoughts and prayers or cards if Joyce can get out there, address in Maine.
We light this candle, this final candle today, for all of you who may have joys, sorrows, and gratitudes in your heart, but wasn't able to come up here and share. And for all those watching us live streaming right now, we light this candle that they too may have joy in their hearts. What do I do next? Spirit of life. Go ahead, Carlos, introduce it.
If we now please stand and rise in body and spirit as we sing number 123 in the back of your teal hymnals, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Well, good morning again, All Faiths. I'm not used to doing this part, but I'm doing well. Am I not connected? Oh, I forgot. Yes. It's a time for sound of silence, not spirit of life. Michelle's giving me the, and I'm like, what? Okay, well. Sometimes we're right on it and sometimes we're not, but that's okay. The spirit of light and love is always with us. So at this time, I would like you to please invite you to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and make yourself comfortable. Let us turn our mind and our hearts to today's service and contemplate our blessings. Today is Palm Sunday, as you can see. Now, some of us celebrate Palm Sunday, some of us do not. Some of us recognize it, some of us remember it. Some of us remember grabbing those palms and waving them on Sunday morning, and it was a wonderful feeling, and we would just hear the minister, the preacher, the priest tell the wonderful story of how Jesus came in, and it was Hosanna, Hosanna, and it was magnificent. And then I moved to Florida, and there were palms everywhere. Anytime we want to. But see, in the northern places where it's cold and you don't have palm trees, it's a big thing. And then you get to take them home and make stuff with them, and you make a little cross or little trees and all kind of things. You put them in your car. You do things with them. But mainly we want to remember today, in honor of Palm Sunday, that for many of us, it's one of the most holy days leading up to Easter. So let us not forget that. We have some palms today, just a small amount, but they are all around. And remember, anytime someone is worthy of celebration and honoring, think, I can wave my palms. I can say yes. And the wind does it also. Our Bible, the Bible, tells us that even if we do not say something, that the rocks, trees, that nature herself will cry out. And we see Mother Nature doing all kind of wonderful things here. So I just want to remind you all, when you drive away from here today, look at the palm trees. They're alive. And they're doing something wonderful for us. They're pulling in things, and what do they release? Oxygen. And without it, we would cease. So do not ignore those palms. Do not ignore the greenery. Mother Nature is taking care of us, and we should never forget her. My opening words. Oh, and for those of you who have no idea who I am, around here most people call me the minister, or you could just say Albie. Opening words for today. It is a wonder and mystery that our paths have crossed, that in the immensity of time and the vastness of space, we coincide right here. I personally am in awe at the ways in which our lives intersect and intertwine. At the beauty we create when we are together. May our coming together make us more compassionate, more just, more caring, and more loving. May our hearts and minds be open to this offering we give to one another. I am so glad you're here today. Let us worship. Let us marvel at the miracle of being. Amen and Ashe.
From the day we arrive on this planet and blinking step into the sun, there's more to be seen that can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. Some say eat or be eaten. Some say live and let live. But all are agreed as they join the stampede. You should never take more than you give in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's a leap of faith. It's a band of hope till we find our place on the path unwinding in the circle of life. Some of us fall by the wayside. Some of us soar to the stars. And some of us sail through our troubles. Some of us live with the scars. There's far too much to take in here, more to find that can ever be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky keeps us small an endless round in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's the keep of faith. It's the band of hope till we find our place on the path unwinding. It's the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's the leap of faith. It's the band of hope till we find our place on the path unwinding, yeah, in the circle of life, on the path unwinding, in the circle of life.
Thank you, Carlos. The circle of life. None of us are outside of that circle. We're all one. Surviving together, we are one. We live in a strange age. Certainly, different tribes have warred, like the Israelis and Palestinians, since the beginning of time, it seems. The world has always been a violent place. Even our own country was founded on the genocide of native people. But now the whole world is our village. With our smartphone, we can see the agony of human siblings across the world. We can watch the children fleeing from airstrikes in Syria, or women dying of hunger in Yemen. Teenage gunshot victims being carried from U.S. high schools, middle schools, and grammar schools in real time. How can our minds conceive of this level of sorrow? How can our hearts not break every moment? Terrible things have always happened, but now we witness nearly every loss. The only way we can survive this modern agony is together. We need a community of kind people that we can grasp hold to when the grief of being alive right now threatens to sweep us away. People we can mourn with when being human is almost unbearably painful. I turn here I turn to my church. I turn to my congregation. I turn to you all when I feel this deep sorrow and I feel embraced. We light candles every Sunday and we sing our morning songs. And sometimes the great mystery, himself, herself, shows up to remind us that while life is often very difficult, it can also be beautiful, especially when we see holiness, sacredness in each other's faces. When we practice our faith together, when we try to be kind and are kind, when we try to forgive and be forgiven, trying to be awake, woke, in this mist of suffering. We lean into our faith tradition and into each other. May we always remember we are not alone. Please rise and bow to your spirit as our choir comes and sings Lean on Me, 1021, in your blue hymnal.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't measure. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on your brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. We all need somebody to lean on.
Yes, amen, amen.
We sure do.
Well, it should come as no surprise that we have a guest speaker today. And I'm all excited about it and skipping things and messing up a little bit. And Joyce is popping up just to let you know how excited we are that we have a guest speaker with us today. And I have been knowing her, I think I met Terryn, I don't know, was it like 2006, 2007 or something like that. We've been walking around each other here in Fort Myers for a number of years. But mostly, we know each other from sitting in church together, from being family with one another. Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. So it is my honor to share with you Terryn, and I'm going to read her bio, and it is wonderful, and I feel like bragging as if I had something to do with it. Well, I did get to walk around and be near her and smile a lot, so I hope that counts for something. Terryn Bach-Acheamfour? Bach-Acheamfour. Terryn Bach-Acheamfour is a native of Fort Myers, Florida, and has dedicated her life to helping individuals realize their worth and assist to position them to transform into the best version of themselves. She received her bachelor's degree in political science with a minor in English from the University of Florida. She received her master's degree in public policy and public administration from Liberty University. And in addition to this, she holds a bachelor's and master's degree in theology and is currently a doctoral candidate with Life Christian University. Terryn is the Director of Program Services for the Salvation Army, where she collaborates with other professionals striving to help others improve their quality of life. Terryn is an ordained elder and serves as the lead elder at Mount Hermon Church in Fort Myers, Florida, under the leadership of Dr. William Glover. She is married to her husband and best friend Kofi, and together they reside here in Fort Myers, Florida. Terryn.
Thank you so much, Minister Albee. You can take credit because you did play a part, definitely, in my growth. I absolutely want to just thank you all for the opportunity this morning. Just walking in, feeling the love. This is not my first time here. It has been a long time, but when I set foot on the property, the feeling just came over me again. It's so warm and welcoming here, and I appreciate that. And so I do bring you greetings from my husband, Kofi. He was not able to be with us this morning. He has some training obligations, as well as I bring you greetings, some of you know, from my father, Councilman Johnny Streets, who is in his last year serving as city councilman for Ward 2, as well as I finally bring you greetings from Dr. William Glover and the Mount Hermon Church family, because you all are church family to us as well. You're co-laborers with us with Life Justice. So I feel like I am at home this morning, so thank you for reminding me of this being my home. One of the things that I noticed is at the top of the order of service, I saw the word transformation. And one of the biggest things is I am a proponent of having transformational relationships, because a lot of times we have transactional relationships. And so pretty much what it goes in line with what I'll be speaking on today, which is life navigation, because we should always, as individuals, individually and collectively, be on the lookout for being able to establish those transformational relationships, because whatever walk of faith that you find yourself in, whatever higher power, they have had an influence of your transformation. And the expectation is that you as well help someone else transform themselves as well. So I wanted to take this opportunity to speak to you in reference to one way that I have been able to engage in transformational relationships with those that are in our community, especially those that are what we consider our unhoused neighbors, the homeless population, but I like to call them our neighbors because we are all in community. So they are our unhoused neighbors. Like you, we and my colleagues are concerned with the legislation that has just been released, as well as with the exponential growth that we are seeing in the unhoused neighbor population here, especially in Southwest Florida. But while that is the reality, there is a way that we are able to have an impact and reduce the numbers that we are seeing. For those of the Christian faith, we understand that the poor will always be among us, so we are called to do good. That was one of the things that attracted me to the Salvation Army, was they have this model of doing the most good. And years ago, I said I always wanted to be able to serve the community. I did not want to look for a job. I did not want to look for a profession. I wanted to look for an opportunity to serve. And so I consider what I do every single day ministry, not necessarily in the walls of a traditional church or congregation, but I serve the community. And so I'm appreciative of that. I am a firm believer that it's not just one person, one agency, one organization, or one congregation's responsibility. I believe that it takes us all as a community to do good because we are in community together. The effects of public policy have been traced across the country to determine the quality of life of the poor. Evidence-based practices show that the poor can be housed, they can be fed, and they can be safe in housing. Poor public policy with poor procedures reduces the quality of life of individuals, families, and communities. Poverty does not have to equate to homelessness. So when we talk about life navigation, it is a cultural approach to technical work, acknowledging the significance of culture in surpassing strategy. Life Nav, what we affectionately call it. So you may hear, for those of you that are engaged with the Homeless Coalition here, you will hear a lot of talk of Life Nav, Life Nav. So we've shortened it. It's called Life Nav. Life Nav is not just a strategy or a program, but an integrated culture. It addresses the impossibility problem by providing individualized solutions, challenging the predetermined preferences inherent in traditional programs. The goal of Life Nav is to help individuals achieve an improvement in their quality of life. This is achieved through navigation of quality of life goals. What I may deem as appropriate may not be appropriate for you. So when we say life navigation, we like to sit down and have conversations with those that are experiencing crisis, or even those who are unhoused, to let's talk about your quality of life goals. Because remember, as I stated before, we want to challenge the predetermined notions that have been out there that we have a checklist of how we work with people. That's not transformational, that's transactional. Transformational is me getting to know you as a person, getting to know what you feel is quality of life, getting to know what your community is. So when we talk about this, there are 4 quality of life goals that I like to discuss with individuals. The first is physical. Everyone wants to feel safe, correct? We want to feel safe. We want to have physical health. We want to have our mental health, and we want to be free from being in the elements, so we want shelter. So we have the physical category. Then we have individual. Individual is access to quality education, access to global information, because we all want to be informed. And then we want growth for creativity and the option for healthy living. So we have our physical, individual, and then there's material. We are all, and we want to be informed about our income. We want to have the opportunity for employment, the opportunity for housing, and the opportunity to own some things. We want some goods, we want some stuff. While we don't indulge ourselves in materialism, but we do like things. It's okay to like things. It's okay. Newsflash, it's okay to like some nice things in life. It's okay, trust me. And then the 4th quality of life goal category is social. That's your family relations, that's your personal choices and rights. It is your choice of faith, as well as your quality of life and community. So when we sit down and we begin to talk about those goals, I will tell you what is amazing especially those that are in the middle of crisis and even that are unhoused, you know where their number one focus is? No, it's social. They are more concerned, and this is why it's mind-blowing, because we have done this for so long. We have been so transactional, but now as we begin to get transformational and have those conversations, they're more concerned with connections with family. They want to know they have a family. Family does not have to be biological. They just want that relationship. They want connectivity to socialization, a community of faith. They want to be a part of an us. And it blows your mind because the first thought is like, no, we need to focus on you getting housed. We need to focus on, and it's like, no, that's not their number one focus. They want to be a part of something. And that's why I love this congregation, because you all are a community. And it's so important for not just your congregation, but for people everywhere to understand when we offer that community, that's how we begin to address the problems that we are seeing in society. Because there was a recent article that I read that 68% of those who are experiencing homelessness would not have experienced it if they were a part of a community or did not have a breach in their community relationships. But it makes sense, because when all of us sitting in here, when we're in a crisis situation, we have someone we can call, right? We can call a friend. We can call a family member. We can come to the congregation and say, look, I'm having a problem. But if no one has that, then they steadily decline. Steady decline. So again, this approach that working with individuals and having a transformational relationship is to sit down with them and allow them to be the driver. Because oftentimes we want to be the driver in their life. But no, they are a part of it. It's their life. They navigate their life. And we are to be that support. So with LifeNav and with transformational relationship, we put them back in the driver's seat. And we say, guess what? We're going to get in the passenger seat. And we're going to come along for the ride. And as you're driving and as you're navigating, we will be the one to help guide you, to offer you services, and to surround you with that support for you to determine what is your quality of life. What does it look like now? What do you want it to be? And it all comes down to, guess what? Showing love. And I know a lot of times people are like, but no, it's more that it's love. Is compassion. We forgot about the more weightier things by being focused on the minute. So I applaud you this morning, and I stand here, and I ask you to continue to be who you are and who you've been called to be, because I believe that you are a community. I believe that you show love. I believe that you show compassion. You yourselves are what we call LifeNav coaches. And I offer you the opportunity to come meet with me at the Salvation Army, see our LifeNav Center, and even become a LifeNav innovator, to work with the same individuals I get to work with, the families, and to be that support, be that guide, and help them reach their life goals of the quality that they deem. I thank you for your time this morning. I encourage you, I support you, and I'm blessed to be standing here with you.
Thank you, Terryn. Navigating life is not an easy thing. We would like to think that there's some sort of book that tells you how to do it. Like we think, oh, maybe there's a book tell me how to be a parent. There's a book that tells me how to be a grown-up. No. We kind of stumble around and find our way. But we find our way because we have each other. And like she said, when you feel alone, you don't know who you're going to call. Ghostbusters, no. You don't know who you're going to call, what you're going to say, who's going to be there to help you. I understand. It's a difficult thing. So she asked us, All Faith, would we come and help? She asked us, would we be innovators? Didn't you? Right? There's an ask. And we do have the wherewithal to try to fulfill some of that. So our challenge is not to just say, oh, that was wonderful, and then we never call or say anything or show up. So let's follow through. I encourage you to do that. All right. So, right now, this is your chance. Make your noise. Start digging around in your pocketbooks, also known as a purse. Look in your wallets, also known as a billfold. Make your noise and get ready for something we can all participate in, and that is the offering. So I'm going to tell a little joke because it makes us. Absolutely. Listen up. This one you got to catch. Yeah, even I read it a couple of times, but I said, I'm going to do it. So here we go. A helicopter was flying above Seattle, flying around, and an electrical malfunction happened. It disabled all the aircraft's electronic navigation and communications equipment. Due to the clouds and the haze, the pilot he could not determine his position. But the pilot saw a tall building and flew towards it. He circled around and held up a handwritten sign that said, "Where am I?" It was in large letters, "Where am I?" And the people in the tall building, they scrambled around and quickly responded. And they drew on a very large sign and held it up in the building window. "You are in a helicopter." The pilot smiled and waved, looked at his map, determined the course to steer to SeaTac Airport, and landed safely. And after they were on the ground, the co-pilot said, "Hey," to the pilot, "how'd you do that?" And the pilot said, "Oh, I knew it had to be the Microsoft building because they gave me a technically correct but completely useless answer." We appreciate your generous donations which support our dedicated staff, our beautiful facilities, inspiring services, interesting activities and jokes, social outreach at All Faith. We invite our visitors to please place their completed visitor cards in the offertory baskets. And if you are with us visiting live stream, you can mail a check or visit our website, allfaithsuu.org. Our offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you.
Storms were made to be weathered, clouds were made to roll by, nests were made to be feathered, true love can never die. Just to build them and shattered, and to build them anew. Nothing else ever mattered, only a love that's true. You've got to give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You've gotta laugh a little, cry a little, before the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. us. We've got the hope in its charms. And when the world is through with us, we got each other's arms. You've got to win a little, lose a little, and always have the blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Since I see you singing, let's sing it louder. You've got to give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You've got to laugh a little, cry a little, before the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. One more time. That's the story of, that's the glory of love.
The glory of love, and it is one of our centered values, love. We all emerge from and dwell within, are transformed by and call back to love. May your mind be humbled before this mystery of love. May your heart grow hopeful by it. May you be sustained by this love and always love. May it be so. Okay. I thought they were going to sing this before.
Hosanna.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
You there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they nailed him to the cross?
Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb?
Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Were you there when the stone was rolled away?
Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the stone was rolled away?
Thank you, Joan.
Thank you, Michael.
All it took was 20 years.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, and thank you too, Carlos. Were you there? My heart was there, that I wasn't physical there. Beautiful, spiritual. We're now going to extinguish our chalice. And as I said earlier, our youth will not be coming back out to extinguish the chalice. I have to choose somebody randomly. Come on up, Michael. And as Michael comes forward, please join me in reciting the words in your order of service. We extinguish the these we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Amen. Please join us for some refreshments and all right in the back there. All right.